My 7-year-old sister, Mia, had a voice in her closet that knew exactly how our father died. It wasn't a guess. It was an impossible, dark secret that I had never told a living soul. Up until that week, Mia's world was defined by stuffed animals and a fear of thunderstorms. She was the last person who should have been talking about the mechanics of a fatal accident. During dinner, she leaned over and whispered that the closet boy knew I still heard the sound of twisting metal every night. She described the exact sound, the screech of steel that has played on a loop in my head since the night of the crash. The things I kept locked away to protect our family were now being repeated back to me by a child. Something was standing in the dark of our new house, watching us through the gaps in the door. I searched the closet that night. I moved every box, checked every inch of drywall for hidden doors or vents. There was nothing there but old coats and empty space. That when I reached for the handle to close it, a whisper came from behind the hanging clothes. "You left him there." It hit the exact center of the guilt I've carried since I crawled out of that wreckage alone. The voice had the pitch of a lonely child, but beneath that sound was a heavy, ancient resonance. It didn't sound like it was mimicking a person. It sounded like it was using a child's voice as a mask. Mia called him Oliver, and Oliver wasn't just an imaginary friend. He was something that had spent the week learning exactly which words would hurt me the most. The next morning, Mia told me Oliver saw our father visiting the basement. That should have been impossible. We had toured every inch of this house before moving in, and it didn't have a basement. I started moving furniture in the kitchen until the floor tiles sounded hollow. Hidden behind the pantry shelves was an ancient wood door, wet to the touch. The words, "Don't open after midnight," were gouged deep into the paint. I opened it at 12:03 a.m. and found a set of stairs descending much deeper than the house's foundation. The further down I went, the more the air smelled of wet dirt and something metallic. The house had changed. These stairs hadn't existed yesterday, but now they felt like the oldest part of the building, a hidden depth that had been waiting for us to find it. At the bottom of the stairs, I saw a tall figure standing with its back to me. It was wearing my father's favorite jacket, the one he was wearing the night he died. Then its neck began to bend backward, snapping until its head was upside down. It spoke in my father's voice, telling me he was the one who stayed in the car, while I was the one who ran. My flashlight swept across the basement walls, revealing hundreds of crayon drawings. Every single one showed a different family standing next to a faceless shadow. In every picture, one person was scribbled over until they were a black smudge on the paper. On the newest drawing, I saw our family. My mother and I were still there, but Mia's face had been erased with heavy, jagged strokes of black wax. Oliver wasn't a new presence in this house. The drawings went back decades. He had been collecting families like ours for a long time, and he had already picked who was leaving next. A scream tore through the ceiling from Mia's room. I ran for the stairs, but as I reached the top, the hallway began to stretch. The door to her bedroom seemed to pull away from me, moving further into the distance with every step I took. The lights overhead flickered. With every flash, the house aged years. The wallpaper curled and blackened, and the carpet beneath my feet rotted into a dark, wet sludge that slowed my pace. Family photos fell from the walls, the glass shattering on the floor. When I looked down, the images had changed. My father and mother were gone, leaving Mia standing alone next to that tall, dark shape. The hallway didn't lead to the kitchen or the front door anymore. Every turn led deeper into the rot. The house was changing into a space designed to keep us apart. I finally reached Mia's door, but when I swung it open, her bedroom was gone. In its place was an infinite network of hallways stretching in every direction, lit by the dim yellow hum of old fluorescent lights. I saw children from different decades standing in the doorways. Beside each one stood a version of Oliver, a tall shadow smiling down at them with a mouthful of human teeth. When the Oliver in front of me leaned down, the shadow shifted. Beneath the darkness was the face of a crying child. Its tears were what formed the damp walls and the rotting floors of this entire place. The sound of the car crash returned, louder than ever, filling the hallways with the noise of breaking glass. Mia looked at me one last time, then she reached out and took the entity's hand. She didn't look scared anymore. She looked like she had found someone who understood the weight of what we lost. As the lights went out, I realized that some houses are built entirely out of the things we can't let go.